If I could pick the number one question I get asked, it'd be this: why did you start a garden? You see, for me, a garden was not always about providing food for my family. When I first started gardening, I was actually in high school. I'd been gardening a long time prior to that, but I considered myself a gardener when I had a garden of my own that I intentionally planted without, of course, the help of my mom. So I started a garden in high school, and I started it for one reason. And I think a lot of you can relate to this reason. For me at the time, a garden was a lot more than just food production. I didn't really see it like that because I was still, of course, eating fast food. I was doing a lot of things that would be deemed unhealthy in terms of diet. And so for me, the garden really was not about food. What it was therapy. You see, in high school, I was picked on a lot. Not just by students, but by teachers as well. And this was because I was a soft target because of what I was interested in. I wasn't interested in things like baseball cards, sports, video games. I was into things like collecting stamps, fishing, business, finance, gardening, painting metal figurines. I just was weird. I had these interesting hobbies that I couldn't explain why I liked them. I just found them to be enjoyable. And yeah, I might have been a little bit more introverted, but I was also extroverted amongst people that I felt comfortable with. And this mockery and just verbal attack I got on a daily basis really led me to have a lot of self-doubt, lack of self-esteem. And it also progressed into anxiety, a lot of social anxiety, because I would be in class and I'd be talking about something that I thought was very interesting, but teachers would be rolling their eyes, they'd be snickering. Teachers wouldn't reprimand students that were snickering and mocking me publicly just for the fact that they wanted to seem funny amongst their clique. I was a social outcast throughout high school, and it led me to have very few friends because no one wanted to be friends with the guy that was always being picked on. And I didn't really take it to heart too much externally, but internally, I really was fighting a war with myself of whether or not I would have any sense of normalcy, whether or not I would ever find something that would, or something or someone that would appreciate me for who I was. And that also led to a lot of anxiety because the more I looked for it, the less I found it. That's when I stumbled across gardening. Gardening was something that had an impact on my life because it didn't judge me for who I was, the things I liked, the person I was. It just liked me for the actions that I put into it. There was a direct response that my plants had and that my garden had to the effort and care that I gave it. And it was that connection that drew me so close to gardening. And it was that withdrawal that ultimately led me to find acceptance in myself and realize that it was not necessarily me that was being weird, but my peers and society around me that had not grown to accept who I was. That really took a lot of time and self-searching to understand that. You see, here's the problem though. Once damage has been done, sometimes it's irreversible. And that's why I also garden today. Because the damage that was done through high school, through my 13 through 18 years of age, left damage that can't be fixed with anything other than constant work and constant therapy. I was mocked on a daily basis. I was mocked to the point that any rational person would have had thoughts of suicide. But I was someone that really clung to family. I was someone who clung to the things that I liked. I was someone who clung to my faith. And I was not someone that was willing to give all of that up just because of someone else thinking differently of me. And I still to this day have a lot of social anxiety. I still to this day battle with things that I just don't understand how someone could do that. But what I can say is that a garden has helped me more than anything has ever helped me before. I was medicated for a few months. I couldn't stand it. I got off of it. I was into, I was into video games and stuff to just keep my mind occupied, and it didn't really carry me through like a garden does. I didn't feel that sense of satisfaction leveling up or, beating the game. I felt satisfaction in growing plants. And that's really why I continued gardening. Throughout college, I found a little bit more social acceptance because people are different in college. People are they're a little more free because they didn't have all their peers see them grow up as children and say, whoa, all of a sudden you just switched. I really to this day have always considered myself to be very lucky. I'm a very blessed person. I have a beautiful wife. I have had a great family, but my upbringing through surroundings that I had no control of molded me to who I am today. And that's why I'm very in tune with my garden, because I feel indebted to my garden. That's why I choose to grow organically as well, is because when I have a connection with my garden that is the way nature would have intended it, I'm not just throwing something on it that's going to give me results because someone else told me. I'm going to go back to the results that nature has taught me to be the cure for the needs that nature needs. Things that happen organically allow me to have a more closer connection with my garden, and that's just because I chose to do it that way. And subsequently, as I matured as a gardener and as a person, I learned that gardening was also healthy. You see, I talk all the time on this channel about how a garden can be very nutritious and healthy because it's better than what's being provided in the store. And that's very true. You see, when I was going through what I was going through in high school and I was feeling lost, I turned to food, which is what many people do. I ate for the fact of being filled with fat and sugar. I just wanted to have that sense of fulfillment, but I didn't find it. I just kept eating, and that led me to gain a lot of weight. As many of you know, I lost 45 pounds over these past few years, and that was because of my dedication to getting my health back on track, because I need to make sure that I'm on this earth for my daughter and my wife for as long as I can be. And having a garden allowed me to do that. Having a garden allowed me to have nutritional sustenance that the grocery stores couldn't provide. And that led me on a journey of eating healthy. It led me on a journey of wanting to provide the healthiest food for my family, which is why I started expanding my garden. Because having a garden for therapy, you can have 30 square feet. But if you're going to provide the food that's necessary for your family, I realized I had to have more. And that's why I grew my garden. That's why I expanded it to 2,000 square feet and then to 3,000 square feet. And now a total of 5,000 square feet combined with the cottage garden. I want to feed my family colorful, beautiful, nutritious food, still while maintaining the therapy that my garden always provided me. I still find the same amount of therapy whether I'm working with 10 square feet or 5,000 square feet. But it's the therapy combined with the nutrients is why I garden. Whew. It's getting toasty, I like it. That means spring is on the way. So that is why I started a garden, me personally. I know we don't all have the same background, upbringing, reasons why we have a garden, and that's fine. That's why I love gardening. It doesn't matter what race you are, it doesn't matter what interests you have, it doesn't matter what shape or size or income bracket or political affiliation, it doesn't matter what planet you live on. It doesn't matter about anything as long as you grow a garden. That's what matters. And that's what I love so much about this community, and that's exactly why I started the YouTube channel. I started the YouTube channel because someone back in 2011 told me, hey, you should really start a YouTube channel. This could be something that could really blow up. And I see you have a pretty good green thumb. And I really think that other people would enjoy knowing how to grow a garden. And at the time, I didn't really think anything of it. It was actually my friend, and now still friend, Hayden, who watches my videos every single day. Him and I had this totally stupid YouTube channel. And he was the one friend that I had that understood my uniqueness, because he himself was also a really unique person who shared a lot of the same likenesses as me. And he saw my garden and said, you should really put that on YouTube. And so aside from doing the dumb videos, I also put up gardening videos. And the gardening videos ultimately led me to a community that was very accepting, very like-minded, and didn't really care about the things that made me unique. They just cared about the fact that we were all growing a garden. And that's why I'm very, very appreciative of all the support that you all have shown me throughout these years. And the fact that every single day when I upload a video, you all care to watch it, because you all care not only about what I'm doing in my garden, but what I'm helping to promote for this gardening community. And I appreciate all that support. I love it more than you ever could imagine. Your comments, your emails help lift me up and carry me through the next day. And it definitely helps. I really want you to know that. So if you would, let me know in the comments box below why you garden. And if it's something really personal that you don't want to share, I completely understand. Maybe shorten it up or send it to me in an email. If you really want me to read it, that's fine too. I appreciate your support. I love you all so much. And until tomorrow, I'll catch you all in the next episode. Grow big.